Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is about culture, and I want to ask you, how culturally aware are you? How culturally sensitive are you about another culture? Perhaps a culture that you live in or a culture that you visit. I think this is a very important topic for us to talk about because traveling has increased and migration has also increased. So to be culturally aware is very important in today's days. So I'm going to read a small excerpt for you that I got from the United Nations statistics. Okay, here goes. People migrate at a rapid rate. In fact, in 2019, we saw the international migration number soaring up to an estimated 272 million. That is an increase of 51 million since 2010. Guys, that is an incredible increase. Since 2010 to today, there is a 51 million increase in migration. So for sure, culture should be on the forefront of our discussions. When we don't know each other culture, that's bound for trouble, right? So in today's video, we're going to talk about cultures and cultural sensitivity and awareness. I myself have migrated 3 times. I've mentioned this in another video. If you haven't seen that video, you can check it out right here. I've mentioned that I've migrated before and I've learned a lot. Right? And I wish I knew more before, but there are some things you just have to learn on your journey. So I found 5 skills that would be useful for a person who is going to migrate, or if you're just going to travel to a place. These are 5 skills that I think that would be useful. These skills were used in a different context, in a workplace context, but I think they're transferable and they can be used in an individual context. So let's get right into them. So the first skill I would say is inform yourself. Knowledge. That's the first skill. I mean, the internet is loaded with information. You can go Google stuff and you'll find information right at your fingertips. You will not learn everything about the culture on the internet, but an introduction is just fine. It's enough, right? So when you move to a new place or when you go visit somewhere, if your neighbor doesn't tell you good morning, you know that's normal in that area and you don't take offense. Or if you miss the train, like I've done multiple times, which has forced me to learn to drive gear stick. I was not a timely person and I missed my train a lot. And so I learned that while I was here though. But there are certain things, certain practices you will learn. You can learn by just informing yourself, researching and finding out stuff. So another skill I would say is very important, especially for people who are migrating, is deliberately trying to understand the new culture that you're going in. I mean, if you're going to live in a place, you should deliberately try to understand that new culture. Don't be too strict on upholding your original culture because guess what? It just doesn't work. I'll give you an example. I'm from Jamaica and we're a collectivist culture. In Switzerland, it's a more individualist culture. If I try to bring that Jamaican culture here, it's just not going to work, right? So it will never be a complete switch. And I'm not saying that you should give up your whole identity and your whole culture and take on a new one, because that's also not possible. Right? No matter how you think you can, it's not possible. It's finding that balance, finding your comfort spot in between that. But deliberately trying to understand the new culture and adapting, trying to adjust is a very good skill to have when you're planning to migrate. If you're just traveling to visit, it's probably not so important. There are some things, some subtle things that are important, but especially if you're planning to migrate to a country, it is very important. Another important one, which is number 3 on my list, is being considerate. This could tie in very well with the second point of being understanding. This one is being considerate. So let me give you an example. Russians kiss you directly on your mouth. So if you go to Russia and you meet someone and you become friends and the person takes you and kisses you on your mouth, they do not want to, well, I don't know, but as a general rule, they do not want to have sexual relationships with you. They only want to be friends, or they are only greeting you. Okay? Don't get it twisted. In Germany, for example, a handshake and 2 pecks on the cheeks is a very common way of greeting. In Switzerland, a handshake and 3 pecks are a normal way of greeting. So these are things to consider, and do not feel offended if it's done to you. Moving on, number 4, respect. So have respect for the law of the land. So where you are from, it's okay to drive 80 kilometers per hour, but in your new location, the law says 50 kilometers per hour. Respect those laws. That's just an example. Respect those laws. If during lunchtime you have quiet downtime, don't go turning up your music because in your country that's okay. In Spain, they have siestas. The shops are usually closed. The place is quiet. You don't go there and turn up your music, because that's considered disrespectful, and that will give you a tougher time to settle in the new environment. I mean, there are sometimes things happen. For example, with the driving, you might be just doing regularly, not focusing too much, and because you're used to driving 80, you know how the brain works. You can forget, but you need to try to train yourself to adjust to the law of the land. And now we're on to the last one. Number 5 is tailoring your skills. So all those skills we talk about, put them into practice. Alter what you can alter and adjust to fit into your new environment. This will result in effective communication between you and the residents of your new home. And I guarantee you, this will make it much more easier for you to settle in. I think it's more important, for people who are migrating to be aware that you're not taking your culture with you. You're taking your culture within yourself. But you cannot expect that the new place that you're going has the same culture. They don't. And you need to be aware and sensitive of this, that the cultures are different, and how can you find a balance between your culture and the new culture to settle comfortably and amicably. So I've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for sticking to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and let's have a talk in the comment section. I would love to hear your opinion on these points. And also, if you have an idea of a topic that you would like me to discuss, remember I've migrated 3 times, so I might have a thing or two to share with you. If you have a topic that you would like me to touch on, please feel free to leave that in the description box. Until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.